Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, therisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football!
To show you what's happening right here, right now in the studio, because we've got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk. Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we'll be
We are.
officially back in town
That's
on
right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it all.
leave it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right. Yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that. That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions, mate.
And we got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Inter Monaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians.
Yes,
The Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on, of course.
on?
We're still on,
Well,
mate.
over
Yes.
here, we've got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple of
Oh,
those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I'll tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Katholos, a cat, has ordered 2 because his gut's so bloody big, he needs 2 jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke. Cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
Well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Garrock, wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brasilia. Well, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow Sport together. There is only, and then guys, you can buy them on. There's only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football. Where you can get it from? There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes,
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
League.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about
Frothy.
that. Yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
rigid jigs,
yes,
$150,
but,
and then you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well,
finish
we can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
we're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
that's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. But where do you get them from? There is only one football.
That's the one there.
.com.
And,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time. Thanks, guys. Get on Arrow Sport.
Monday,
Arrow Sport. There's only
We'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday,
guys. See you. Bye-bye.
There's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
Footballers! Hello?
Guys, the footballers. It's party time tonight, you know. Hey. Up, chicken outs. Feel the rhythm right now. Carlos is with us tonight, guys. Here we go. Hey.
She-bang.
Check it out right now, guys. Feel it. Feel it, guys. Here we go. Yep. Yes, all right. The cup of life. This is the one. Now is it time? Don't ever stop.
From Anna, the young lady.
We shouldn't know. Gotta be strong. We shouldn't
email
know.
already.
Right
Can I
from
say
the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it.
Let's get loud.
I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life. Not the days here, you're gonna get it.
Hey!
You really want it.
Ho!
You really want to me right now, guys. Hey, here we go. Ali, Ali, Ali.
It sounds distorted
Go,
tonight.
go, go.
There's something wrong with
Ali,
the
Ali, Ali.
Something going on with the
Tonight's
audio.
the night.
Turn it
We're
down.
gonna celebrate.
Too much echo.
Here we go. Ali, Ali. Check it out right now, guys. Feel it. We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. It's our way, the highway. Frothy, tell me what's happening on, mate. Oh, yes, guys. It's footballers tonight, guys. It's footballers tonight. It's party time. Thank you for joining us,
shut up,
guys.
let me talk,
Oh, here
will
we
you?
go right now, guys. Feel it right now, guys. Here we go. Oh, God. What's happening? It's our way, the highway, mate.
Are we still on? Check.
Of course, we're on, mate. What do you think, mate? Get on with it.
All right. Now, first of all,
Yes.
we've got the great man here, Carlos.
Carlos, all the way from Brisbane, man.
Carlos. Sorry, the surname is
Bielli.
Bielli. That'll do. And can I shake your hand because
Certainly, may. I feel privileged.
yes, so
meet
are we.
you in
So
person.
are we. And first of all, just thank you for wearing an orange top. That just
Yes.
proves you love the great Brisbane team.
Yes, of course.
So clearly you got the colour there. Now, Harry, listen. Something happened to me today.
Yes.
And now, why can I hear seagulls in the background?
I'm thinking that our guest is somewhere in the middle of nowhere at the beach or something. We'll talk to him in a minute.
Probably on the pier fishing for calamari. I think. Well, listen, I had a bit of drama today, Harry. Let's
Yes,
cut
please,
this short.
please.
I was resting up on the bench at work. This is true. I'm not
Yes,
talking shit here.
I get you.
And anyway, I didn't realise the bit. This is true. Now listen up here, Carl.
I believe anything you tell me.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God, man.
And I didn't realise the bench.
Sit down, man. Stop laughing here, okay? Jesus,
Well,
mate.
I haven't told you what happened. Why are they
Oh, they're
laughing?
preparing everything for you.
Well, now listen up. So I leaned on the bench. I didn't realise the bench had
Yes.
wheels. So what happened was
Down the hill you went.
Yeah, I fell down there, and basically
I know what you
one of
did.
my fellow colleagues there, she said to me, "Are you okay?" I said, "Well, are we still on? Check 1, 2."
Of course you're on.
Well, you're checking the monitor there. Well, give me the go ahead at least. Give me the green light. So anyway, I came up. I got up there.
Green light.
Yeah, well, that's
The
a
red one.
Well, that's a red one there. I think our mate Carlos is colourblind. No, that's red, Carlos. I don't
That's
know if you
right.
realise
But
that. That
this
is
is
red. Yes.
think is green.
So you know you're coloured. Well, that's good enough. Well, anyway, now let me finish here. So I got up and I said, "Well, look, that's what happens when you're over 100 kilos." Now, little did I realise this woman here, she was a big girl, and
please,
well,
keep it clean.
it went to HR. So I'm looking for a lawyer, Harry. Do you know a lawyer who could get me out of this mess?
The C-City lawyers,
C-City
the
lawyers,
lawyers
who
have
we
come
just
to you, is that right, Carlos?
That's right.
He's our sponsor always, guys.
So
too.
you are a lawyer,
Yeah,
obviously.
but I'm not licensed to work in Victoria.
That's
Well,
right.
I'll license you now. I'll give you a Greek license.
That's right. Yes.
But unlike last time, you will charge me $150 an hour. Now, can you do it a bit cheaper for me, Carlos, please?
Gee, you're cutting a fine.
Can you do us a favour? Just help me out.
We've
I
got to
need
get
your
our
help.
special guest on, guys.
Who we got on?
We'll chat
Well,
later after
we
the
got
show.
to welcome right now
We'll
Mr.
talk
Kris
off air. I'll
Trajanovski,
get stuck into my
Socceroo
beer.
extraordinaire. Welcome, Kris. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys, and hello to all the listeners out there.
Yes, they're all listening to us right now, Kris. Kris, we've been trying to get you for a while, although we have to find out. Hang on, Frothy, we've got to stop for a sec, mate. And the thing about this is Frothy is that Frothy talks a little bit too much. But let me tell you something right now. I'll tell you, Kris, that we've been trying to get you for a while, and finally we got you on. We got so many of your friends on.
We got him on,
You must
yes.
have listened to our show a couple of times. You must have listened to it by now. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've listened to it a few times. here and there. So yeah, it's a great show, and it's nice to hear stories from ex-players and ex-teammates. So,
a lot of your ex-teammates, a lot of them.
May I add, Kris, Craig Johnson, Archie Thompson, John Kosmina, and even though Carlos didn't make the NSL, another great player, Carlos Boyeli. And if you're looking for a good lawyer, I can put you onto one now.
Okay, now.
Thank you,
Now,
Fluffy.
Kris, I was just amazed at some of the stuff that I looked at before about your career, about 14 teams.
Yes.
Now, Kris, you must have had a very good agent in your time when you were playing, is that right?
Absolutely, he did.
Unfortunately, I didn't have an agent. I did it all myself.
Really? Well.
Yeah, and it's probably a I should have really. I looked into an agent, but there's too many dodgy ones back in the day. So yeah, I sort of went alone a lot of the times.
Well,
so,
apparently, mate, you've trained yourself to be a manager or an agent, so I think you should be giving people a bit of a representation somewhere. There you go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't chase the money. that was half the problem. I just wanted to play.
Now, Carlos, would you like to speak to
Yes,
Kris Trajanovski?
Yes,
man on.
Kris, you obviously had an amazing career, both at a club level and international. Who were some of the coaches that made Kris the player that you became throughout the years?
Look, I'll have to from an early stage. It started with a guy called Steve Short at South Melbourne. He coached me at the I was 15 at the South Melbourne youth team.
Gee.
And that's when Brian Garvey was the head coach of South Melbourne.
Yes.
And then I moved. I had a year with Steve, and then I moved to the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra under Ron Smith and Gary Cole. Yeah,
Yes.
so Smudger and Coley. So
Cole, yes.
and I learned. Yeah, so that was an experience, and also Steve O'Connor. He came on board later on, so it was So from them three guys, really taught me a lot. And just how to play the game, and like different ways to play, and just technically I wish I could learn from them when I was 13 or 14 instead of 16, 17-year-old kids. So
you started at South Melbourne.
Well,
yes, I'm originally a Geelong boy.
Geelong.
So I grew up in Geelong.
I see. Geelong Warriors.
Yeah.
Geelong Warriors. Anywhere?
No, not the Warriors.
They were around
Geelong Soccer Club, so the Macedonian team.
I see, yes.
The Macedonians.
Back in the day, Geelong West. Now they're called Geelong, so yeah.
Okay. Frothy, your turn.
Now, Kris, you mentioned the great club. I'm lucky enough to follow two of the best clubs in Australia, not necessarily in order. The Great Brisbane. I'm wearing the scarf tonight. Don't know why it's bloody hot in the studio. But look, it doesn't matter whether your team's last. If you love your team, if you love the game, you'll support them, won't you? You'll go to the games, regardless where they are on the ladder. Now, have you got a team in the A-League? Now, please don't say Melbourne Victory, because Harry will hang up on you.
No, I obviously living in Adelaide.
You're from Adelaide.
I live here now, so I follow Adelaide United, but I've sort of got my allegiances sort of to Sydney FC.
Yes.
I sort of because obviously a couple of ex-teammates running the show there. With Steve Corica and Robbie Stanton. So every time they come to Adelaide, we always catch up and have a good chat. So I like the way they play, and even Victory, this year they're sort of with Popper in the scene now. They're obviously playing some good football and Western United. So everything, it's been But like I said, I sort of support Adelaide United, but I like watching Sydney. So,
Carlos.
Yeah, Kris, to be chosen to play for Australia is the ultimate accolade of your ability, consistency, and hard work. Do you remember what range of emotions you went through when you got your first cap?
Oh, it was I was like I said, I was very proud moment. representing Australia, and just proud moment, obviously for myself and my family, and just all the hard work, and sort of it paid off, and just to listen to the national anthem, and it was just expiring, and I loved it, loved every minute of it. Just 2 years in the system, in the Socceroos, and it was just one of the best things to ever do. So enjoyed it, every moment of it. So I wish I could have played more.
Now, Kris, I'm going to mention the club to you. You're a Victorian boy, of course. Is that right? You're born in Victoria?
Yes. Yeah, mate, Geelong.
Not that one? No. I'm going to mention to you your club.
Born and bred in Geelong, mate.
Okay, what I'm going to tell you is Preston Macedonia.
The Macedonians, yes.
Now, is that your first club, I think? Is that right, in the NSL?
Yeah, in the NSL, yeah. That was my first club from the AIS in Canberra, and they signed me as an 18-year-old in 1990, 91 season under John Gardner.
John Gardner. And now the players you would have played for at that time, I'm going to go back. We've spoken to some of these.
Connor Bassinas and Phil Trajanovski.
Oh, here we go. But we're going to talk about
Zarko.
Did you play with Gary Ward?
Gary Ward.
No.
You just missed him at that time. I think he'd left at that time for Sydney or something. Is that right?
Gary's about 80 now.
Yeah, I think he was. No, I think he would have retired when I first went to the. Yeah.
And then you go on, Kris.
So sorry, he probably unless he might have been playing state league back then. So but he might have been retired. So yeah.
I'm going to tell you about the next two clubs, and from you going from Preston Macedonia to Rockdale Linden in Sydney. Now you went from NSL to a state league club. Is that right?
Oh, that was what happened was I got injured, and then it was in the off season. So I just went on loan for half a dozen games or so. So it was mainly just to keep fit, and so that's why I went to Rockdale. It was just a loan. It was just in between seasons. So it was mainly to keep fit. That's all. So that's why I went to Rockdale. Plus my cousin in Sydney was involved in the club, so that's why I went there. So
is that true? Is that true? What they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Is that right?
Absolutely.
I think that's what it sounds like.
Pretty much, mate. Yeah,
and it's
Carlos.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take it back to international football. What was the step up, or the main difference between domestic football to international football? And how did that make you a better player, Kris, for your club when you came back from playing with the Socceroos or the under-20s or the Olyroos, as we used to call them? As we call them now.
Yeah, look, it was a big difference. A lot quicker. A lot of the
looks good.
A lot of the players were, just thought quicker. Just the way they applied their skill, and it was like it just went up a level. Playing for the national team, like training sessions were always very intense and obviously enjoyable, but it was all at a good level. And then you sort of and then when you go back to club football, it was it sort of drops down a bit, so that was probably the biggest difference I found. So every time coming back from a national camp or playing for the national team, and then it was just a different level and different mentality. And that's compared to club football. But and it depends what club you were with too. So you could have been 2 or 3 ex-team like players in the national team also, but it was a decent level. So it was very enjoyable.
Frothy, have you got something for Kris?
Now, Kris, we'd. Hold on,
he dropped his head. Sorry, Kris, he just dropped his head, mate.
Kris, we'll get back to the the script here. Now we're going to ask you some questions. Harry's got a clock here.
The clock.
Yes,
the clock of death.
Yes.
No.
It goes.
That's the button. That's the button.
Stephanie. Was it
That's the
Stephanie?
button. That's the button, my
Sorry,
friend.
Chris. Harry's got his girlfriend here, Stephanie. And,
Sorry, Chris.
we got 30 seconds to answer these questions.
Let's do it. Tell me to press the button, please.
Obviously, now hold on. Now, shut up. I'm still talking. So you've got under 30 seconds. Now, are you on a pier or something? We can hear seagulls in the background, Chris.
Oh, I'm at my son's training session.
Oh.
So.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Maybe
Yeah,
you can put the
so-
coach on. We'll have a chat with him too. Well, anyway,
So-
you got 30 seconds to answer all these questions, and you're obviously running against the clock here. And there is a prize at the end of the year. I'm going to supply the winner with a Brisbane Roar membership.
I get you.
Well, it's a thought that counts. Doesn't matter the last.
Yes, are you ready?
Now here we go. Are you ready, Chris?
Oh, I'll try my best.
Okay. Here we
We're
go. Dogs or cats? Dogs or cats?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Yep.
Dogs or cats?
Oh, goals.
Favourite movie?
Favourite movie? Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, good.
Well, stop the clock, Harry, please. Now, have you heard of Rocky 4? Have you, Chris?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So you wouldn't rate that better than Shawshank? What would you call it?
Shawshank
That's a bit
Different
of a
type
tongue
of
twister.
movie.
Redemption.
But yeah, I love me Rocky movies too.
No,
yeah.
that's fair enough. We'll start the clock, Harry. Now, hardest opponent. Mehmet Jurakovic?
Sorry, what was the first one?
Hardest opponent. Mehmet Jurakovic?
Oh, hardest opponent? I would have to say Andrew Marth.
Whoa.
Mate, you get a couple of backhanders there, did you, Chris?
Backhanders? Yes. Andrew Marr.
Yeah, it was. Yes, Stabber was. He was
Stabber.
hard, but
Stabber.
he was fair.
What a name
Yeah,
for a guy.
that was
That's
his
his
nickname.
nickname,
Yeah,
yeah.
Stabber.
Wasn't he the hitman on the of the NSL? Is that right?
Well,
Yeah, oh yeah, he was up there. Like I said, I've spent many years playing against him, but I played half a year with him, and so I got to see both ends of the of
the elbow,
Stabber, and the studs up, down on one knee and studs, but yeah, he was hard as nails, but he was fair. So that's
He's back. He's back.
sorry about that.
Sorry,
Chris,
that bloody crow.
Chris,
Get rid of him,
the
mate.
crow's
Shoot him,
flying.
mate.
Shoot the bastard.
We can't get rid of this crow.
Sorry
Sorry,
about
Chris.
that.
You know that. Yeah.
Now, we did stop the clock, Chris. We're not cheating.
Here we go.
But
Next.
before we go on to the next question, Andrew Marth fair? Are you serious?
yeah.
Well, you're not serious. Well, look, we'll get on to the next question.
Go on.
How do you like your steak, Chris?
Medium to well done.
So do I. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Best player of all time?
Oh, I'd say Maradona.
How did I know
Oh, I
that,
was going to say
Carl?
George
Yeah.
Best. Oh, Chris.
Yes. Do we stop the clock for that?
No, you keep going, keep going.
We'll keep going. Now, Twitter or Instagram for you, Chris?
Neither.
Instagram.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Corona, real or not real? And not the beer.
What was that? Sorry.
Corona, the virus, is it real or is it not real?
Oh, I think it's it's real. I think.
Brittany just blew you a kiss there. Now, when you were a youngster, were you into the disco scene or were you one of those in the rock and roll scene? Where were you? Describe it. I mean, where were you?
I was in the rock and roll scene. It would have been in more of the
Disco.
nightclubs. Yeah, that's me.
All
yeah.
right, Chris, that's done with the shot clock. You
Okay.
took 3 minutes and 45 seconds. At the end of the show, we'll see you next week. And Chris, we'll talk to you next
No,
time.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Chris. No, Chris. Chris, now, I'm going to talk to you
No,
about...
keep it going,
Now,
keep
I'm going
it
to bring
going.
Carlos in a sec, but I'm more amazed about the clubs you played for overseas, the names.
Same here.
Now, I'm going to say here, Chris, Happy Valley sounds like some kind of...
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley sounds like some kind of...
Dopey place.
Something very funny about
Happy
that
Valley.
name, Chris. What sort of club was Happy Valley and where was it?
Would have been a happy one, I suppose.
In Hong Kong, the
Hong Kong.
they
the races.
Happy
the
Valley,
races, the races.
the Happy Valley race course. Yeah, so we used to train in the middle of it.
Oh, really?
yeah.
So
So
in the middle there is a ground you played on.
Yes.
no, just training pitches, and then and then they had a mini stadium.
Yes.
Like probably about 5,000 people.
So-
and then they had the national stadium, the Hong Kong stadium, which I think held about 30 or 40,000 or something.
You've given me ideas here about Happy Valley. I tell you why. By any chance, did you practice in the middle of that ground there, right? Training and whatever.
Yep.
Were they running races at the same time?
No.
Oh, boy.
No.
You could
They only had races only at nights.
Oh, you could have backed some at training, mate. But anyway, doesn't matter. And also,
No, unfortunately, I wasn't into racing.
Okay, now, Kris, I'm going to get these funny names here, mate. South China. Where is this club?
That's in Hong Kong also.
Another one.
Another Hong Kong.
Yeah. Their main pitch was the National Stadium in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
And they had their own like training facilities. It's probably one of the biggest club in Hong Kong.
Yes.
And they got like so very wealthy club, and facilities were awesome. And
this other club here is like sounds like something I'd order from a menu at a Chinese restaurant.
Okay. What is it?
Tanjong Pagar.
Tanjong Pagar, another one in Hong Kong. So
what is this Hong Kong? They love you in Hong Kong or something, Kris?
Well,
I ended up. I had 2 stints there in Hong Kong. Obviously, remember Dave Clarkson?
Yes, he was
Clarkson played for Brisbane Lions in 1987.
Yes, and a bloke called Alan Reese.
Yes.
We first went there to get him out of relegation. So that's
Alan
how.
Reese.
Now,
Alan Reese.
Carlos, you remember him?
Now I'm going to tell you. Now these clubs.
Yes.
Now you going over from the NSL over there to play during the NSL period, is that right?
Yeah, the first one was my first stint. I went for 3 months.
Yes.
And that was at the end of the season. And then I missed the whole season in the NSL, and then that's when that's when I signed with South China.
And so what I'll ask you is, are we talking about what was the money like in those days in Hong Kong? I mean, come on, they were just probably one of the last places where you think players would go and play. Is that right?
Yeah. Look, it was compared to the NSL, it was a lot better.
Really?
And then, like I said, you got paid. Yeah, you got paid. You got paid a good salary plus. They put you up in an apartment, and and then obviously it was back in that day. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So, but not what it's like now in China and all that. So unfortunately.
Okay.
So
I'll bring Carlos on, but I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of clubs to talk about when I come back to my turn. Carlos,
get back to that.
Yeah, look, is there a game, either international level or club level, that brings tears to your eyes that everything you could do just turned to gold and it was the wow factor? Is it a game that you remember that brings you goosebumps?
Look, I got to say, it was in my first year at Preston in 1990.
Yes.
And I scored my first goal, and we beat Melbourne Knights. I think it was 6-0 or 6-1.
Wow.
Gee, that's thrashing.
And then and I'm talking, and that's when you had, like Melbourne Knights. They had the star-studded, obviously Davidson, and they had Warwick Tiffy, and they had them all there playing.
Biscuits.
So that's it. Yeah, so they had all their stars, and it was just an amazing feeling. And so from club football, and just being at the end of the game, you might see footage on the ABC and where they lifted myself and Warren Spink up. So I'm on a guy's shoulder that is actually from Geelong, the family friends, and and that was it was just an awesome experience, and just the way it was a great day. Like I think it was my game 4 or 5 in the NSL, so it was just awesome experience.
Frothy.
Now, Kris, I've got a serious question here for you. Now, the A-League, Harry doesn't like talking about the A-League.
Here we go.
Well, I rate it. You got to be pretty good to play in any A-League team. I mean, Now, where do you think... What was that?
What the hell
Did
was
you hear
that, mate? Somebody's flying across the
Sorry,
room.
Chris,
A ghost
we've
coming in.
got
Sorry,
strange
Chris.
noises.
You'll actually hear this stuff during the replay,
Probably
Chris. I'll
from
send
the
it to you.
soccer ground where he's
Oh,
at.
yeah.
No
somebody-
worries.
My God, man, what was
Now,
that?
the A-League, if you were in charge for a minute, what would you do to change it? I mean, how would you get the bums on the seats, Chris? Have you got anything? Can you give us anything, Chris?
Oh, mate. I think it's about entertainment. I think look, it's a hard one because I think
It is a hard one.
there's some really good footballers out there and stuff like that, but unfortunately, like whether it's Corona and stuff like that, and that's where it's hard to get point a finger like how to get crowds back in. So I don't know, get the cheerleaders there. I don't know.
Well, for starters, Chris, I went there a little while ago. I don't know, 2-3 months ago, and the small cup of beer was $9.80. Maybe they can reduce that to get you in the bloody door. First of all, well, surely they got to look at that, Harry. I mean, seriously,
Well.
$10 for a small cup of beer. Now,
Yeah,
what was that? Did you just hear?
No, that's fine, that's fine.
Did you do that?
Is that there, Chris?
Is he there?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Check 1, 2. Is he there?
Everything's fine, Frothy.
Yeah, sorry about that, Chris. And now, is there obviously your first team was the Macedonians. Now, I suppose that's your team you followed as a kid and when you grew up?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, growing up in Geelong, and then my dad and my granddad used to take me up to Preston to watch the games, and and that's where it all started really, and just the atmosphere and the passion from the supporters, and just probably watched some great footballers in the time back in the 80s. So it was just a great experience from going there with my dad and my granddad. So yeah.
Okay, now, Chris, you played for a lot of these clubs, a lot of these NSL clubs.
course
Now,
you did.
my God, man, we thought that Peter Catholis, you know who Peter
Cat.
the cat, you know the cat is, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mate, we thought he was the gypsy of the NSL. Mate, we don't understand what this is, mate. 14 clubs. But I'm going to mention to you these clubs right now.
Didn't beat
And I'm
Damien
going to
Murray.
ask you about, out of 10, which clubs are the best. So I've got all your clubs here. Now, people are listening here,
Yes.
and all the supporters around Australia are listening to this right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to mention to you the first club, out of 10.
South
How would you
Melbourne.
No, South Melbourne.
Well, that was his first club.
No, we're talking where he played.
Oh, fair
Preston,
enough.
Macedonia. How much out of 10?
It's probably a 9, I would say.
I got to say, probably I'd say an 8.
Ooh,
Wow,
now
that's a bit
Now
below
here
the
we go.
belt,
Now
Chris.
we have a lot of Sydney Olympic people here. So
Yes,
what,
yes.
mate? You really did well at Sydney Olympic. The players you had that year. My God, Chris. Come on now. How
Yeah.
much?
Mate, I reckon Olympic in those days, when I was there and the players I played with, I'd say about a 9. Just,
Ooh,
just
nine.
the,
Nine.
just the
Well, there you go.
atmosphere
Yeah.
and just the way we went about it.
Now we've gone from 2 states to another state. Adelaide City. You wore the black and white.
Yet the Zebras.
How did you understand the Italian there?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know.
that was that was an interesting one. I met my wife in Adelaide. So,
That's why you're there.
But I'd say probably about a 7.
Ooh, I hope she doesn't get upset tonight.
Oh, well.
Oh no, no, the place I'm talking about, some of me out there, the team.
Now we are talking.
Well, of course it was,
And-
Chris. The tallest building back then was about 3 stories high now. It probably still
Now,
is.
you went from one Italian club to another Italian club called Marconi.
Marconi, yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that was I'd say that's about an 8. That was a
Eight?
great setup. Just the way,
And of course,
the way they done things.
What
Yeah.
now? Then you went to the Brisbane Strikers, of
The
course.
Strikers, yes.
Now, what years were you there?
I think it was 2001,
Yes, I was there.
2002.
I was there
Yeah,
too. I was
under
living
Cosby.
under John Cosmina.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's
Is he?
And
So what do you? Just before we talk about John Cosmina,
Rate him as a coach.
so how much would you give Brisbane Strikers?
Probably
probably about a 7, I'd say.
A 7. Now, but I see about just a little bit of just a couple of sentences here. Is he all right? Do you catch up with him at all? Is he fine the
I
way he
doubt
talks?
it very much.
Because what I know about him is he was a sniper on the field. Is that right?
He was.
Cosy?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. He was.
He told you
yeah,
stories, I bet you.
Absolutely.
You cross that white line, mate. He was. Yeah. I got on pretty well with him. But yeah, if you
Probably
crossed
the
him
first,
or
I
he wasn't
suppose.
happy, there used to be a few fruit platters flying around in
Ooh, I
the
know
dressing
that.
room at times. I'd say.
He loves us. He loves us. He loves us really well. This show.
Well,
he loves
we
us.
had him on the show and he wasn't too impressed.
Now, Kris,
we regret coming on.
you didn't mind
We
the verbal
regret having him
spray.
on.
What was that, Chris?
He didn't mind a verbal spray at times.
Oh, I know
Put
that
it
now.
way.
No,
Now, is this the cream of the crop here? When I say Melbourne Knights, how much did you give them?
Well, probably not. I suppose.
Oh, that was in the final NSL season. I played about 12 games with them.
Yes.
The last, and then that was it. So, yeah, and I'd say, I'll give them an 8, just for
Okay.
the
So let me just say, Chris, what the winner is?
The winner
Sydney
is-
Olympic 9. There you go.
Well, hold on, Harry. Hold on. He said he
Yeah.
played for
Why?
South Melbourne as well.
No, he didn't play there during. You didn't play NSL at South Melbourne, did you?
No, just in the youth team.
That's all.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He still played for
Well,
South Melbourne.
okay, let's put South Melbourne. So, what do you call them?
What would you give him out of 10?
Go on then.
Probably a 10.
South Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'd say back in the day, we're talking 87 here.
Yes.
88. I think it was 88. Sorry.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, that was probably about an 8. Yeah.
An 8 as well. Well, Sydney Olympic still in front. Carlos, you're next.
Yep.
Now you're a coach, Chris. What
Was that? Sorry.
Now that you're coaching,
Oh.
what are the main differences between the old National League and the new A League from a coach's perspective?
Well,
And
much-
from a
look.
player as well.
Oh, look. I think it's a lot more professional
yes.
nowadays.
Yes.
I think there's a lot more science and a lot more
yes.
just education and
Yes.
food and just that type of things.
Yes.
And just I think the players they seem fitter, but at the same time they've got all the they've got all the gadgets now to tell them how far they've run. And back in my day, we probably would have run probably as much as them, but we didn't have GPS on the back of our shirts or anything like that. So, but yeah, just as a playing and all that, and watching it, I think it's a lot quicker. But then again, there's a lot more cameras. Probably the pitches are better, and then obviously they water the pitches before they play.
That's right.
So
that's
which
right.
makes it look quicker from the as a viewing spectacle at home. So they're probably some of the big differences anyway. And obviously the coaches, like just talking to Robbie Stanton as an assistant coach at Sydney, the amount of preparation and what they do and it's pretty full on. So in that aspect, it's a completely different ball game. I don't, for me, there's no way I could probably coach in that type of environment because it's just, they're just that educated and just, it's just full on, days are gone are the days when I used to play. It's like, you come off the bench, just go out there and score, and you look at these days, there's a whole novel what they have to do or something, moves and set plays, and it's pretty full on.
Well, Chris, let me just cut you off there. You were spot on with your answers because we as people get smarter as time goes on. We got technology, like you said. We got the GPS. We are fitter. We are. We know the game better than what we knew it. So generally speaking, everything gets better, but not necessarily the quality sometimes on the pitch, because I have seen some A-League games that are pretty below par. But having said that, I've seen some NSL games that were pretty ordinary too. But generally speaking, is the game better these days than what it was? Not just so much speed. Are we smarter as players? Are we... do we entertain more? can we actually compare it?
No, you can't. It's like apples and oranges.
Well, excuse me, I'm asking Kris a question. Thank you very much.
It's look,
That's quite rude.
I think technically players were better in the old NSL.
Thank you.
I think these days
but as a team, they're better these days, right?
Yeah, I think they're a like I said, technically, I think the generation in NSL were a lot better. Whereas, like I said, but you look at it, there's some technically great players in the A League, but I think in the NSL, I think there was a lot more talented players out there.
Correct.
And unfortunately, so that's my opinion. Like I said, they're probably faster, fitter, these days. But yeah, technically, I think we were better back in the day.
Well, Kris, it's not an opinion. What you just said was a fact, because as individuals, I would say there was much better individuals, but as a team, I think they, I don't know whether it's the modern coaching, whatever it is, as a team, though, I think they gel better as a team these days than what they were then.
Yeah, you could say that. Like I said, there was a lot of back in the day. Like I said, I had some, I played in some great teams and stuff like that. And like I said, we had, back in the day, win or lose, you're out in the town with the boys. Whereas I think these days it's win or lose, and it's. You go back and there's probably a video session, and so it's a lot more professional. So, and you can, it's like the AFL. NSL in the 80s and 90s was like the AFL in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
There's some great players in those days, but they played hard, and they probably partied harder. And it's probably, and that's how I look at my time in the NSL.
He sounds like a Hawthorn supporter.
I'm not going to go to AFL.
Kris?
We're not going to AFL.
I'm a Geelong supporter.
There you go.
Well, I'm a Hawthorn supporter. I bloody hate the Cats, mate, and you'd probably hate the Hawks as well.
Oh, my God, here we go.
Now, can we talk AFL at all, Harry?
We can't talk AFL.
Wrong show, sorry, Kris.
Now, Kris, let's go to your Socceroos days, right?
The Socceroos.
Now, we are talking about 1991. You played under 20s, of course. Now, your coach, was that the famous...
The boss.
The boss. Was he the one or what?
Yeah, he was, mate. Yeah.
Was he strict? Was he really strict or what? He says, and I'm going to try.
What did he say, Harry?
I'm going to talk like him.
Yep. Have a go.
Hey, Trajanovski, you better do all your laps today, or I'll punish you. Is that right?
Or you get Nosovlaki, maybe.
Yes.
Is that what he did? Is that what he said to you?
Right. He used to give it the old sharp. He used to. He was. Put it this way: if he was coaching these days, you'd be out of a job.
And let me tell you one thing about him. I met him and I spent time with him in Townsville. I don't know whether you were there, Kris.
Yes.
In that 1990, I don't think you were there. 96, you weren't there, were you at all? No.
In Townsville, no.
No. I was there with him. I was there with the Olyroos, mate. And I was entertaining him as an entertainer. And you know what he kept
Harry
talking
was
about?
a stripper, Kris.
Don't worry about him, Kris. The thing about this is, Kris, is that the boss spoke to me. He says, Harry, the best team in the NSL was Marconi. I used to coach Marconi. Did he always talk to you about the way he coached Marconi or what?
Yes, he did.
Oh, not really. We didn't. Yeah, we sort of didn't really. Everyone was scared of him. And,
I know, mate.
And then, like I said, everyone played. We all feared for not making the team and stuff like that.
Yes.
And wasn't really much coaching. Unfortunately for him, he had, especially that 91 World Youth Cup team. There was, there was some quality players, and as you're well aware.
Did you play with George Soros at all?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
You were in that team. You were in that team in Spain. Is that right?
In Portugal. In
Portugal, exactly correct. So you were there, and that was the team that actually hit the highest rating team he ever had. Is that right?
I'm sure it was, like viewer-wise and stuff like that back home. But I think there was 112,000 people at that game. against Portugal in the semi-final,
Oh,
and
God, Carlos.
and like I said, I played with George at the AIS and then at Olympic for a couple of years.
Yes.
So, and then obviously, the youth team and stuff like that. So, if you speak to any of the ex,
Oh, we have. We've spoken to George Soros all
the
about
one?
this stuff. Yes.
and just like I said, there's probably stories that you probably couldn't tell on your show. So,
I can imagine.
But just the way he
Well,
treated
what are we
people and
breaking
stuff
now?
like that. So,
One more before I pass on Carlos.
Over to
Is
Carlos.
that where is your medal? Please tell me where's your medal. Have you still got the medal?
He's probably sold it.
Yeah, I
Chris
have.
converted,
Yeah.
maybe.
Can you do me a favour? Can you do me
Yeah,
one favour?
yeah.
Take a photo and put it up for us, please.
Post it for us.
Please,
yeah.
Chris. Because if
Yeah,
you still
no
have,
worries.
we've asked George. I think George lost it. He hasn't got back to us yet.
Oh,
so have you got the
no.
photo?
Yes.
And also, I want to ask you one more thing before. Did you ever wear the spew shirt?
Of course he did.
of course, yeah.
You did?
That's the,
Bloody
that's
terrible.
the
I love that shirt.
that's
Well, how
that's
can
the
you
jersey
love
we
that
wore
shirt? Are you
at the
serious?
World Cup.
And that's so basically.
Worst
And
shirt
you
I've ever
apparently
seen,
wore.
Carl. It's
You
terrible.
apparently were with the team at that time, wearing yellow shorts as well. Because I watched the game. You had Kevin Muscat playing as a 16-year-old. Is that
Oh,
right?
my
Of course you
God.
did.
KM.
Yeah, he was
Seriously.
17 or something.
Yeah, 17. No,
16
I
or
couldn't.
17, yeah.
I saw that whole thing. I saw it all. And mate, we want the spew shirt. Do you have the spew shirt, please?
The bloody spew.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Can you?
To be honest with you, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was cleaning out my just all my jerseys and all that, and I started putting them all on, and I got my daughter, and she started taking photos of all my jerseys and all
Did you
that.
do it? Did you do it?
Yeah, I have. I've got them all. I've got them on my photos.
Did you? Are you wearing it?
Yes, I am.
Please, we want it up tomorrow. Chris, can you send it to me, please?
Well, hold on.
Because
Yeah, no worries,
the
yeah.
Olympic coach is, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. You know
Yes,
who he
yes,
is.
yes.
I forgot the name. Ante Juric. He put it on,
Yep.
and he sent it
Yeah.
to us,
Yeah.
and we put it up on the site. We want to put yours up on the site too. How's that?
Yeah,
Well,
not a problem.
hold on, Chris.
I'll send it through to you guys tomorrow.
Please,
and I'll
we want
I'll
it.
find my medal. My medal's there. I just got to
Put it over.
Put
Put
it out of.
it over. Yeah, put it over. If you can put it over and take a photo, we'd love you to do that.
Well,
No
I told
worries, I can do that.
He's
Here's
got to
Carlos.
qualify for that, Harry,
Carlos.
first of all.
Oh, here we go.
Now, are you at player weight? Or is it going to look a bit like you're about 4
No, he's
months
at
pregnant,
player
like,
weight.
like all of us? Well, I don't know. He might be a big boy these days, Chris.
Not like the cat, mate.
What's your weight these days, Chris?
I'm about probably 89, 90 kilos.
He's
So
good.
Well,
I put
that's
on-
not too bad.
I put on about 4 or 5 kilos. So
That's nothing.
Well, that's
yeah. So
we- we get the visual image. I mean, Harry's 75 kilos. And he looks
thanks.
trim and terrific. And, well, you can post that shirt. Well, why not, Harry?
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
fine, mate.
We can get to see this. Sorry about that. When Brittany's on here. What happened to Horace? Is he going to fly
Oh,
out?
yeah,
tomorrow?
he's in the toilet, mate.
He's
right
in
now.
the toilet,
Carlos, here you go.
Now, Chris, the coach, who are your role models in the coaching fraternity? Do you admire Bielsa, Guardiola, or Chris, the coach? How would you describe yourself?
Oh,
Chris?
mate, I'd probably be a Violi at Chelsea days.
Gianluca Vialli.
Yeah.
What
just
did
the
you
way-
like about Gianluca and his coaching?
Sounds like a
Oh,
pizza to me.
mate, they went out. They went out and played entertaining football, and they went out and like I said, 1-0 wasn't enough. It was they just went for it, and I think just the entertainment and that's and how you should play football. That's not a Jose Mourinho where
Back the bus.
you defend and that's it, and you win 1-0 and dull game. It's for me, it's about entertaining and end-to-end stuff and scoring goals, and putting on a show. You probably won't have a job at the end of it, but it's you do it your own way.
So, is your job at Adelaide, besides getting a result, is that to bring youngsters through from the academy or the youth ranks into first grade and get them ready for the future?
Yeah, definitely. I think development is a important role that coaches need to work with, and and actually teach the young kids how to play, and it's about positioning and playing different systems, and and teaching you to actually physically do it out on the field, and teach them, different formations, and even if you're playing in the pre-season friendly, and you say to the guys, you're only gonna you're gonna play with 10 men for the next 15 minutes, and that way they understand what it's like to be down to 10 men, and that's how you train, and I don't think we do that enough of. Junior coaches these days, they put on all the fancy training sessions and stuff like that, but they need to be taught different positions and formations, and going forward. That's how I see youth development. Like I said, and you play 4 at the back or 3 at the back, and you need to know the way to play, and the way if there's a certain situation in the game, if you're losing, you're winning, and you need to adapt. And I think that's where youth development, and we need to be. That's where we have to be at. That's my opinion, anyway. So.
Fantastic. Frothy, do you have questions for Kris before I start some more?
Yes, Kris, I have a serious question here, mate. I'll try and be serious. Now, we've just wondering, are you watching or are you just listening tonight?
Oh, he's listening right now.
You're listening? You're not watching?
No.
I'm like I said, I'm in the car. My son's just finished.
Well, no, that's fair enough. Well, tomorrow you can be stuffed watching the show.
Yeah, I'll do that, definitely.
Yep.
You're going to love it.
Yep. I'm going to hold up a shirt here, Kris, and I know you would love this shirt. I know you'd love to be a proud owner of this. Now, we've had an offer for $400. Now, I'll hold it up.
Oh, no.
Now, if you can beat the offer for $400, the shirt's all yours. It's a great South Melbourne Lakers, so it's a very rare shirt here. So now, can you give us a price? Is it worth anything for you, Kris? What do you mean? It's a great South Melbourne team.
Out there, mate. Just sit down, please.
Kris, can you open your wallet and help us out here?
He's back.
We got Horace flying over here, Kris. Would you be interested in a great South Melbourne shirt?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I've got a South Melbourne shirt.
Oh, this could be your first one.
Okay.
How about I pay for it and you can have it? Would you take it?
He'd love that, just a kiss.
The old Sivakis, mate. That's
Beautiful, Kris. Here. That's the reason why we went to South Melbourne.
How about if I sent that to your doorstep? Would you wear it, Kris? Would you display it on?
I'd put it on, yeah, and take a photo.
Well, that's fair enough. Well, after the show, I'll just tell you have to send it back next week, please.
Okay. Yeah. Kris, we're going to your Socceroos days right now. The Socceroos days.
South
now,
Melbourne.
is it good to say that your soccer? I can't say that word. It's got to be football here.
Don't say soccer.
We call it
David Ben.
Socceroos. We say Socceroos. Of course, Socceroos is the Socceroos. It'll always be Socceroos. Yeah. Now, Kris, the great Eddie Thompson. Is that right?
Yes, he was a great.
Yeah.
He was your coach.
Yeah, my first part of it, yes. So
I actually met
when I made my debut.
Before I tell you, I met him with the boss in Townsville in
met him too. Who haven't you
1996. I had breakfast with him and everything. So I got to meet the great man, exactly. So there you go, Kris. Talk to us more about Eddie.
Like I said, I'd known him previously and stuff like that. And yeah, like he was pretty. Like I said, he was pretty hard also as a coach. He knew his stuff. And then, like I said, my first camp was in '96. Was at the St George in Sydney at the St George Stadium.
Yes.
He was, and I think Les Scheinflug was one of the assistants or something with Raul Blanco. But yeah, Eddie was like I said, he was quite good. But he had his favourites back in the day. So yeah, but he gave me an opportunity to represent Australia, which I'm grateful for and all that. So, but yeah, like he was very good at what he did. So very motivational, and he was good.
Now, 16 appearances for the Socceroos. Can you name anyone that was memorable for you? Now, at that time, Kris, before I get you to answer that, you also played against clubs as well, European clubs. Is that right?
Yeah, I played. I played for an Indonesian select side in Indonesia.
Yes.
Against Sampdoria.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sampdoria.
Yeah, and there was about I think at the National Stadium in Jakarta, and I think there was about 120,000 in the stadium,
God.
and
Kris, where would we ever have a crowd like that watching a team? You get what I'm saying? We will ever see that ever again?
No. Like I said, it's that was in Jakarta. So and that was Sampdoria. That's when former England captain David Platt. He was playing, and also Roberto Mancini was there, and Lombardi and Viocaval. Yeah, they were all So it was a awesome experience.
Now the Socceroos did play against club teams. Which was the memorable one that you played against? The Socceroos against a club team. I know you played a few of them as practice games.
I don't think. I can't remember any club games. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't in the squads when they played against Milan.
Yes. Okay.
In my time, it was mainly just friendlies against like NSL clubs or select sides and stuff like that.
And I will tell you, at that time, we were in Oceania. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And we're talking about thrashings. Is that right?
Not as much as American Samoa, but
Samoa.
Yeah, it was probably 5 or 6 here and there. So yeah.
What a
Carlos.
mismatch.
When you score quite a memorable goal for the Socceroos, did you have and club games, did you have a special, Kris, just Trajanovski celebration, like Tim Cole used to punch the corner flag? Do you do a somersault like Sam Kerr, or did you belly flop? Did you have a special celebration?
No, I think I used to run to the crowd, and I think I used to wave my hand, like around and all that, and just I think that was one of them, and also jumping in the air and 2 hands out, like starfish position out. So I think so I had a few. So you had to sort of change them around a bit. It wasn't just it wasn't like a Timmy Cale or punch the I sort of had a few in my repertoire, but didn't score too many. Didn't score too many. So it wasn't. So no, I just, like I said, just celebrate with the players and the crowd.
Now, Frothy.
Now, Kris, we obviously your A-League. Can I just get you to give me some tips here? This coming week we have this team called Melbourne. What are they?
Victory.
Called?
Here we go again.
Melbourne Victory. Never heard of them. Anyway, they're playing Macarthur. Who would you go for there, Kris? Unfortunately, it's at Amy Park. I don't know why they get the home ground advantage all the time. Just like the FFA Cup, that should have been on the Central Coast. They bloody robbed the net. We won't get to that. Now, Victory at Macarthur. Who would you go for?
Victory at home. Yeah.
Well, okay. Is that your heart, or is that what you think?
That's just just with the head. I think just being at home, and I think
fair call.
That's
fair
definitely.
Call. Now, Western United, Newcastle Jets. At Mars. They're going to Mars again. We went to Mars, hey? Remember that?
We did go to Mars.
There was 1,400 people there. Great crowd.
There was a lot of craters there in Ballarat.
Yes.
Oh, is that where it is it?
Yeah, a lot of craters there, mate. A lot of holes there.
It was on the football ground, the other code football, and
Western
we
Bulldogs,
needed binoculars to see the game. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'd say Western United, I'd say.
I would say so. Now, Central Coast at Blue Tongue, they're playing the great team, the one you follow, Brisbane. But would probably both have to agree there. Now, Carlos has been an orange stop. You can see that tomorrow. He's finally gone over the Raw Boys. But Central Coast, too strong for Brisbane, I would say, Kris.
Yeah, definitely Central Coast at home. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately. The Wanderers are playing Sydney FC. I'm going for a draw, Kris.
Oh, I reckon Sydney.
Sydney
FC, yeah.
Well, the Knicks are playing Melbourne City at Leichhardt, where you used to play.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to Melbourne City.
Melbourne City, and the last one, the Glory are playing Adelaide at HBF Park. What the hell's HBF Park? There's another one I just grabbed.
I don't know whether it's Park.
They're back in Perth.
Somewhere.
Is that in Perth?
That's not. I'd say.
It's back in Perth.
Is that what it's called?
NIB Stadium or something?
Something like that. Yes.
That's a change of name, but probably Perth would probably just get over the line there, Kris, you'd say?
Yeah, I reckon a draw. I think Adelaide's been doing well, and I think they've got a good young squad. So I think a draw.
Well,
I'll sit on the fence on that one.
Well, having said that, this Mohamed Toure, he still hasn't taken off for me, Chris. Have we seen his best? Has he stopped? Is he going to get any better?
I think so. I think it comes with playing more and confidence. Yeah, confidence and I think the more they play him, I think the more confident, as an 18 or 19-year-old kid, I think they've got to they've got to keep playing him for me, and that's the future for Adelaide. These young kids.
Yes.
To me, there's too many foreigners, playing here. They're taking the spots of our young talent,
Yes,
and I think that's where we that's where we fall down in this country.
That's right.
Like back in my day, if there's foreigners, they were ex Serie A or
Yes.
like top decent players. I mean, there are, like I said, don't get me wrong, there's some great foreign players in the A-League, but there's probably there's too many for my liking. There should be about 3 max, I reckon.
Correct. Over to
That's my
Roberto
opinion.
Carlos now.
Now I'm gonna tell you, Chris. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure having me
So,
on.
Chris, you were on nearly an hour. That's just amazing. You've got so much information.
Yes.
We thank you for coming on. And also, what we'd like to say to you is we're waiting for the medal and we're waiting for that spew shirt, please.
Bloody terrible.
Yeah, not a problem. I can do that, and I can send you some. I'll send you some almonds. I mean, we've got our own
Almonds?
almond business in Adelaide.
Really?
So with my wife, yeah.
I'll
so
talk to you.
Excellent.
I'll talk
I'll
to you
give you a
about
plug. Taronga almonds. So
Yes.
yeah, I'll
Well,
I'll
Chris,
send you guys some almonds.
that. We'd love that.
well, I like cashew nuts, mate. Can you send me some
Nah,
cashews? Even if you go to the supermarket.
we only do almonds.
Almonds, mate, it's healthier for you.
Well,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Harry doesn't like almonds. He likes muffins. But what do you
There we
like,
go,
Carlos?
mate.
Anything you like in particular for Chris?
I love almonds. If I get a freebie, I'll never
Oh,
say
definitely.
no.
We're going to give you my addresses. We'll give you our addresses tomorrow, Chris.
Well, hold on. Before
No problem.
he goes,
Fantastic.
with
Yep.
the almonds, can you send us some free tickets to the strippers, Chris?
Oh,
Can you
God
arrange
help
that
us,
for
mate.
us?
God help us.
No, Carlos
it?
is quite happily married here. He said no. Well, what about you and I? We're both single.
Not
boys.
interested. We've changed our ways from
No, we've changed. Sorry about
Now,
that.
now, Chris,
I'll try
thank
and
you
get
very
some
much for
tickets.
joining us tonight. And, mate, it's been a massive pleasure. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We will be
No.
sending you this show after it's edited, the YouTube show with everything on it. You'll be
That's
able
the
to see
one.
it all. And
Of
you're
course we
gonna
will.
enjoy this. You're gonna laugh your head off. We tend to entertain sometimes.
And
We
Chris
take it
loves
to the
his
edge.
tune.
Oh, that tune, you must have heard it thousands of times, Chris.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Been
Thank you very much for
pleasure.
joining us. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Now,
thanks, guys.
thank you,
Bye.
thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Great
Now,
South
gentlemen,
Melbourne tune.
anyone out there listening right now, and also the replay that you're going to be seeing as well on
Yes,
YouTube.
the replay.
What a story, Carlos. What stories were they?
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, he is an amazing individual with an amazing football history. And I could understand why he would switch clubs.
Oh, yes.
Because every time he went to a new club,
Got more money.
he had, no, not really.
No.
He had to prove himself again to the new club. And that's
That's
one
good.
way he's there to improve himself.
And he got
because
better.
if you stay at the same club for a while, you probably become part of the furniture.
Stale.
Whereas if you went to a new club every 2 years, you've got to start from scratch.
Well, he got selected to play the Socceroos and
Absolutely.
the young Socceroos too. So there you go. That's what happens. Now, Carlos, what I want to bring to your attention is this last night of James Johnson mentioning
Wow.
that apparently saying that they're concentrating in 2023. Their goal is to have the second division up and running next year.
It's not going to happen, I'll tell you now.
Well, that's the CEO of Football Australia, James Johnson, mentioning the second division next year. Carlos, what do you think? A lot of hard work?
Well, I think there's still a lot of work to be done, but we need a second division
Yes.
to, within 5 years of the second division becoming viable, to have a promotion and relegation. We need the second division to provide more opportunity for women's football and the youth players under 20. So I think whilst there's a lot of obstacles, along the way. I think they can be overcome, and I think the format remains to be seen. But my understanding that each club puts around $200,000 into the pool. That covers the basic airfares to and from interstate, and then the clubs will have a budget, and it just have to see whether or not the clubs come up with the money and show that they have the business plan and the financial or the financial backing to be able to be successful. The worst scenario is to have a Carlton or Collingwood where they fold overnight.
Now, what I'm going to mention to everyone out there right now, and I want you two to listen to this.
Yes.
These are his words on SEN radio last night.
What did he say?
We are seeing a lot of appetite for club football that is authentic and connected to the community, right? I'm seeing numbers with teams like Preston and South Melbourne that are drawing 3,000 people to local football matches. Our model needs to reflect that ultimately. That's where the strength of the sport is. Football Australia CEO James Johnson and the National Second Division. Now, he mentioned this last night on SEN, guys. Now, they want to go in 2023. Carlos, I think there have been a lot of things behind the scenes at the FFA planning this. They've not brought anything out yet, but I think they know the clubs that are going to play in that. Now, my way of thinking is that the only way that this can work is basically using the former NSL clubs with maybe one or two different clubs out there who have some money, but the support will be coming from the former NSL clubs. I'll bring Frothy into this, Carlos. What do you think? Because they've still got support, these former NSL clubs.
Well, absolutely, but we haven't seen the model.
Exactly, and they're not telling us. They're waiting at the last minute.
If we have too many clubs within each city, I think that's detrimental to the game, unless the South Melbourne and the Preston Macedonia and the Melbourne Nines agree. Heidelberg. Maybe Hume sit in the mix. Green Gully.
Maybe
Bentley. If we haven't seen the makeup of the second division, but surely we'll assume that Melbourne might have 4 clubs. Sydney might have 4 clubs. Marconi, Olympic. And Apia. And then, but these city-based clubs need to take the game to the regions.
Exactly.
To have another market. So we haven't seen the model. I would like to see some regional-based clubs. If not, if we're city-based, because that's where the crowds are, we have to take the game to the region, to Tasmania and other places.
Well, I do have some talk, and Frothy, I'll tell you this. I have some talk.
What are you going to
from
tell
a
us?
Former CEO
Yes.
of the North Queensland Fury.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Graham.
Yes, they will be involved. They'll be involved in it. They want them to continue in the second division now. Now, don't argue with this, Frothy, because I tell you something.
I'm getting straight to the point. That's
they want
not
the
going to work.
game in the region again. They want in the regions.
That is a rugby nation there. They've tried once, and it's not going to work. And let me tell you this. Crowd numbers where Jimmy Johnson is going on about, we've been to games here, all right? And there's probably 2 clubs that might pull 3,000 people. And I hate to say this, boys, but I've said it before. If they're not rocking up to the best quality, you really think they're going to go to those cow paddocks there where they haven't even got a bloody toilet with no toilet paper in? It's not going to work.
No.
It's simple as that, because it is purely done now by it's coincidental. Spell that.
Well, I'm not going to spell that because I will tell you right now.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Now,
Each
shut up. Let me talk. The
Here we
point
go.
is this.
I'm in trouble here.
The point is this. If crowd numbers were still up and running like they were 5-6 years ago, there's never a mention. All of a sudden, people aren't going to the A-League. Well, let's start the second division here. Well, why wasn't it done 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago?
Danny Townsend has said also
did he
the
say?
Australian, what's that? What are they called now?
Australian Professional League.
That's
the
right.
one,
He's
yes.
spoken about consultation with the second division, and he wants it. He's spoken about and he's the one that looks after
Well, look,
the
Harry,
leagues.
he might want it. I want a Ferrari, but guess what? I can't afford it. It's as simple as that.
The model within that model, Carlos, as well. Within that model, and everyone listening out there, right now, you will be listening to this to a lot of different,
Absolutely.
a lot of different sites as well.
Yes.
We go to 60 sites every
Arsenal
week.
supporters.
Now, they must have a stadium that holds up to about 3,000 people. That's what they've said. They need to have stands. They need coverage for the people to sit down, and they need to be in a very comfortable position. All the people that come to the games, and that's what they've said, Carlos. That's their first.
Let me
point
jump
of call.
in there. We know for a fact, you and I know for a fact, right? 8 out of 10 clubs who will possibly apply for that, they haven't even got a grandstand. Where are they going to put these people? That's going to look terrible on TV.
No.
You can't see over the other person's shoulder. It is not ready yet. It's as simple as that. I hope it works, but I can't see it working, Carlos. What's your take on it, Uncle Carlos?
Look, I think if you give the clubs a time frame and you give, as we know, a clear criteria and a deadline, by this date you have to show the ground improvements to be completed or to be done to be seen to be working towards that goal.
Yes.
Then you're part of the second division. If you can't meet the benchmarks, there'd be other clubs. There'd be far more clubs than what we could take in the second division.
Exactly.
So the benchmark will be grounds, facilities, a grandstand, 1 or 2 corporate boxes, catering. Ground surface is important. Marconi has been known throughout the years as the Wembley of Australian football.
The Palace.
So
Well, why are they called that, Carlos?
it's because
They got good grass, have they?
No, they have an amazing club that grew from nothing,
That's right.
and
How many of them are there? 2, 3?
no, there's only one Marconi with about 15,000 members.
No, I'm saying how many clubs that could make up a second division league have got grounds to cater?
Okay, so all right, so Marconi is one. Wollongong plays at Wynn Stadium or the Mola Stadium.
That's the one.
Apia plays at the beautiful Lumber Park. Yes, Lumber Park can be improved further within its confines because it's a very compact ground.
Yes.
And you can't go too far up. But Lumber Park is an iconic ground. We could also use Leichhardt Oval, which is underutilised, and Cogra.
Yes.
And
Belmore, which
is shared with. The hardly one plays at Belmore because the Bulldogs play at the rugby league side plays only 3 or 4 games at Belmore because they got back to their roots. We have Rockdale also owns their own home ground. They have a capacity of 3.5.
That's right.
Sydney United probably needs to have their own ground, synthetic grass. They probably need to improve the facility because they're showing wear and tear. But I think if the clubs have a clear set of benchmarks that they need to meet by such and such a date, if they work towards it and say if we haven't finished the grandstand, well, at least we're building it, and if the weather holds, we could finish this by 3 weeks before the season. So the clubs need the benchmarks, the criteria, and then they will read the criteria, they will look at the finances and say, we're not ready yet, we could be ready in 5 years.
Correct. But I say this, Carlos, that's all good, all well said and done. You've got to have the ground and have this, have that, the other. But people aren't there to support these clubs. If they're not going to the A-League, I can't see them going to these clubs that were dead 30 years ago.
I will tell you why.
People aren't going to rock up. They don't
James
rock
Johnson, and I remember what James Johnson said last
What did he
night.
say?
They want to play the second division during the winter. That's what's going to happen. And
Well,
they want to separate.
that's the wrong move. We've been to winter games and we've left early on a few occasions.
They're not going to saturate
Okay.
the market between the A-League.
Well,
they want it to work separately.
It's rubbish because you go during the winter, okay, it is too cold. I don't think it works. I might be wrong, but I think the winter's the wrong way to go.
Well, the NPL play during the winter, NPL throughout the country.
Well, that's why they get 50, 60 people as a crowd.
Well, I think the winter games, if it's a 3 o'clock game,
yes,
it
afternoon.
works. Some of the game, because of the congested, because we got Zap in the morning and we have all this other 18, 16. If first grade, like a lot of NPL, Sydney FC kicks off the New South Wales NPL season this weekend. 6:30 kickoff on a Sunday, way too late. A 3 p.m. kickoff, the
Works.
traditional 3 p.m. kickoff works well for a lot of people. Yes, it's cold, but it is a winter sport, and you're trying to touch into the nostalgic factor that a lot of people still debating the merits of summer v winter soccer. And I think 3 p.m. kickoff work. The latest,
I agree.
maybe 4
Time
o'clock.
is important.
But any later than 5 o'clock in winter
it's too
doesn't
much.
work.
Doesn't
Too
work.
cold.
Now, James Johnson did say last night,
What did he say?
he did say this, that we are going to start in 2023.
Well,
and
that's
Tim
what he said.
Carlos, they've already planned this.
Oh,
These
yeah,
things happen.
there's a lot of work
It's
behind
been
the
happening.
scenes. Yeah.
A lot of work behind the scenes. And anyone who hasn't heard this is something coming from us. I heard the interview last night with Simon Hill on SEN Radio. He said it. Our goal is to start in 2023. They've done the work. The homework's been done.
Well,
the
Harry,
teams have been selected to start. That
They
is
could
it.
have a goal. I have a goal too, but
Oh, well,
sometimes you fail.
I have a goal, just like that. What's his name? Martin Luther King said.
I
Is
have
that
a
right?
dream.
That's
Have
right.
a dream.
He had
Well,
a dream. Now, dreams,
Thanks,
some
Carlos, for that.
dreams can come true. But the point is this. Now, what about Mr. NPL? Are we getting him on tonight? For
He's
a couple
not.
of
He's
minutes?
not here. Not on tonight.
Well, why don't you try ringing him? You never know. He must have something for us.
I don't think he's on tonight
Give him
because
a
we're just
call.
about the data's just about finished.
Data's
Yeah.
gone. Data. Yep.
better go.
Well, 9:36. We've gone
No,
6 minutes over.
we've got to go. We've got to go shortly. But listen, guys.
But
we'll have
Carlos,
Mr.
it was a
NPL.
pleasure you talking to me tonight.
Absolutely. The pleasure's mine.
And stick to the great club there. You
Absolutely.
suit you, makes you look a bit younger.
Absolutely.
And, would you like can I throw in a ball? Would you take the ball home? Or
No, I don't want to take your.
We're
your
presenting him with a,
Are you sure?
No,
South
it's
Melbourne
okay.
shirt there.
Well,
The
maybe
shirt-
a raw beanie or something.
No, he's got the orange
I
already.
need to give you something.
Well, we're going to finish, guys, tonight. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us. We have to have Mr. NPL live in the studio
what
next
are we
week,
singing?
guys. Well, of course,
Let's
our
sing Billie
theme
Jean
song.
from
Our
Michael
theme
Jackson.
song. Here we go, guys. Check it out. Thanks for joining us, guys, tonight. Football S was live tonight, guys, from the studio of Roxburgh Park, Australia. Welcome, guys. See you next week, Monday night. Sorry, Monday night at 8:30 next time. Monday night at 8:30. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you. Finish. Check it out.
She bangs.
Oh, yes. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. This man. Check it out. Feel the rhythm, guys. Check it out. Thank you for joining us, guys, tonight. Football is live Monday night.
bangs.
A cup of light. This is the one. Now is it time? Don't ever stop. We shouldn't know. Gotta be strong. We shouldn't know. Right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you're... It's good work there, Carlos. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life. Good night, guys. Thank you. See you next Monday, 8:30, with Kris and Mia Marovich, whatever his name is. We'll see you guys. Thank you, guys. Good night. Thank you, guys. Good night. Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, thereisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football.
to show you what's happening
Yes.
right here, right now in the studio, because we got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk.
Oh,
Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we
We are.
officially back in town on
That's right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it
leave
all.
it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right, yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that.
Brizzy
That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions,
And we
mate.
got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Intermonaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George, Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians,
and,
the Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on, of course, we're still on,
Well,
mate.
over
Yes.
here, we've got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple of
Oh,
those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I'll tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Catholos, a cat, has ordered 2 because his gut's so bloody big, he needs 2 jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke, cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Garrock, wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brazil, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow Sport together. There is only, and then guys, you can buy them on. There is only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football where you can get it from. There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes,
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
League.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about
Frothy.
that, yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
rigid jigs,
yes,
$150,
but,
and then you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I'll tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well, I
finish
can't.
the-
We
the
can't
short
actually.
show tonight.
We can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
the.
We'll,
We're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
That's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. But where to get them from? There is only one football.
That's the one there. And,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time.
Yes, a couple
Thanks,
of
guys.
days,
Get on
and we'll
Arrow
see 'em on
Sport.
Monday, you know.
Arrow Sport. There's only one
We'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday, I
guys. See
believe.
ya. Bye-bye.
There's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
Football is